back a little bit, I think. Trying to get my camera back a little bit. Well, all right then, folks. Ryan here coming to you with a brand new video. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for being here. And we are talking about, remaining calm. And that is extremely difficult to do, believe me. It's something that I realize that's an area I realize I need a lot more practice in. Because it's always good to remain calm. Hey, Christy. And it's not something that I was taught. You know, people who I was around didn't understand that very well. They go from 0 to 100 extremely fast. And hey, Lynn. Um, oh, my day's good. How is your day? Thank you for asking. Right. So I realized that's an area I need a lot of work in. And only when I start to having um, problems in that area, then I realized that this thing wasn't really taught to me, so I'm gonna have to teach myself this. And it is it is extremely, or what I should say, it is rewarding, but at the same time, it's difficult to carry out. It's not easy at all. Because if your program is to, let's say, I think I should push my phone back a little bit more. Looks like trying to get a better. It looks fine. Yeah, I'm trying to get the trying to get the art behind me. But anyways, it's fine. Just gonna have to work with it like that. So staying calm, it actually makes us more peaceful, and you get yourself into less problems. If you are a confrontational person, you like to confront, the person right there on the spot because you have something to prove to that person, or tell that person a piece of your mind or something like that. It it can get you into situations which you do not want to be in, and it can be dangerous, perhaps even deadly at point, and you don't want that at all. To combat that, remaining calm would be the ideal. So I have been practicing that because I notice whenever those old pain from the past, they does come up, and we have to deal with them. And this is when I find myself talking myself through it. So remain calm, remain calm, remain calm, remain calm. I am not saying this is easy because it isn't at all, but it's worth doing, right? And if it was easy, then it wouldn't be any point doing it, because it's extremely difficult to do because we're not programmed to stay calm most of the time. Either we get panic in some way, shape, or form, and we start to lose our mind. Like we put the keys down somewhere. Hello. So we put the keys down somewhere. We are freaking out trying to find the keys because we need to get into the car because we need to go to work. Uh, nice to meet you too, right? So we we weren't really programmed to remain calm. And that is something that I realized that I need to work on myself. Still need to work on it. And I realized, I wrote it down. I wrote it down and I realized that I need to write it down again and read it a couple more times again so that way I can memorize it. Even though, despite the fact that I'm practicing it, I'm training with it, because this is really, really important for me. You know what I mean? Understanding my programming and see when, because the the people who I got my program from, or the people who programmed me in those early years, it was nothing of the sort of staying calm. That was not it at all. Even till this day, if I am around people and I made a mistake, I expect them to just blow up and go off. The lid is off, and then we freaking go at it. I expect that sometimes. I have to keep on reminding myself that I am no longer that person. These people are no longer in my life, and I need to, you know, continue on this new path here that I'm on. Because we need peace and we need calm. At least me, I need a lot of that. And I have been working on that. So if I have this information here, I could have saved myself a ton of unnecessary confrontations with other people, which I didn't need to do. I didn't need to prove anything to anybody that I am tougher than you or I can do this or I do that to you. I didn't have to do all of that stuff. But that was how I was programmed and that's how I was reacting. you know, it was coming out of my program, it was automatic. So I decided that time to combat that. Maybe you probably can, in your own life, where you see where your emotions takes over. You know, um, you know, your emotion takes over. So this is when you can get yourself into quite a bit of problems. You might say things that you do not need to say. Um, you might say things that you do not need to say. You might behave in a way that you know you did not need to display that behavior to let other people really see that side of you, because that side of you shouldn't be hidden, but it should be controlled and worked on and work on. That's it. I mean, you only can hide that so much, but it's fine. That's what you have going on right now, but you need to control it and work on it. Spend your time working on the quickness, uh, you know, the confrontation. It's like I have to defend myself pretty much. And, it's just not a good situation to be in. And you can cause a lot of trouble for yourself and other people as well. And, some of those situations I got myself into today, I'm like, I probably could have avoided that situation, right? Yeah, well, I didn't even need to respond to some of these people at all. I just need to just um, not even put myself in that situation to begin with. But I didn't know any better. I can use that as an excuse. I didn't know any better. One of the things that I noticed that was responsible for a lot of that anger and those emotions that I have. I did not have the information in front of me, or I didn't have the people around me to tell me that I can actually become better than how I was. I knew that, but I didn't know how to do it. And that was a huge problem for me. And that has caused me tremendous amount of pain. Not knowing that I can do better than how I'm doing. Because the truth is, our purpose on this planet here is to help somebody else. That is our purpose here on this planet here, is to help other people, solve problems for other people. And this is how you earn a decent living, by solving problems for other people. And I didn't understand that at all. I thought that I need to go to a job every single day and work and pay bills and be miserable. I mean, that's what I know how to do. Nothing is wrong with going to work per se and work a job. But you will notice after a period of time, you will notice that something inside of you, this deep desire to do more and to do better. You knew it, you can feel it, but if you do not know what to do, you're gonna end up in situations like me and where I was. I was just not happy at all because of that reason. Not until I found out that I can actually pursue certain goals. I can actually dream bigger, think bigger, and actually go after things that I actually want. That begins to become my a huge problem for me. Even when I was at the job and I should have leave these jobs long time ago. Relationships too, I should have gotten out of them long time ago too, but I stayed there. And those things were a problem for me too as well. But what was the most problematic for me, it was I could not find peace. When I noticed when I was by myself, I was quite peaceful. But internally, these voices going on in my head, it was just pain from the past, all misery, all anger, all bitterness, all trauma, all that stuff comes up. Especially when I'm going through a hard time. And I just could not find peace. And then when I started out on this journey here to better myself, make myself become better, and I start to begin to see how, what programs I need to change. Or Bob Proctor, he called them the paradigm. Paradigm is a multitude of beliefs. We hold all these beliefs in our head that was downloaded in us ever since we were, even before we were born, they were doing that. Because I got some stuff inside of me. I knew they were there before I was even born. And when I look at certain people who I was around earlier on in my life, and I look at them today and see how they behave, I'm like, yeah, I got some of your programs. So your paradigm is a multitude of beliefs. And these beliefs that we are trying to change these beliefs. I was not programmed to be peaceful. That was one of them. And I noticed that later on. I was not programmed to be financially successful. That was one of them I have to deal with. So that was like two beliefs right there. I have to reprogram myself um, to change, because I notice I could get to a certain amount of money in my bank account. And then if I exceed that, after a while, I realize I will come right back down to where I need to be. And that was interesting. Until I start to read, I believe it was, God, what's his name? T.R. Ecker. He wrote the book is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, I think it's called. Yeah. And he was talking about your financial thermostat. Never heard anything, had never heard that before. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. How are you? Yeah, your financial thermostat. Thermostat. This is what T.R. Ecker pointed out. And he was talking because he himself at one point was broke and he was making any money at all. Right? So he started to reprogram himself by start to talk to himself, and he would put his hand across his chest and say, I have a millionaire mind, and he would do stuff like that. And eventually he reprogrammed himself, and then he started up, because he was into fitness, and he started the fitness journey, and he became extremely successful. um became millionaire, by the way. I don't know, maybe, I don't know how many million that guy is worth. But I don't know. He lives in Florida, Hawaii, all those places. I think he probably has both homes. I mean, he might have one in Canada as well, where he's from. But that guy became very successful. So I learned that from him. You have a financial thermostat. So how to find out? Your financial thermostat. You're gonna see. You will exceed a certain amount of money, but then you'll see you come right back down there. So some of us are programmed for hundreds of dollars. Some of us are programmed for thousands of dollars, and some of us are programmed for millions of dollars. All right, and they're talking about, your money container. How much money can you hold on to? And if you want an example of this, people who won lottery, or people who go into sports and their contracts are millions of dollars. Within 5 years, or 5.5 years, they are broke. The people who won a lottery, within, like, say, 5 years, they are destitute again. Money container, the size of your money container, things, stuff like those. So I have to learn those things along the way, and I realized that I wasn't programmed for any of this. No wonder why I was losing. Right? So peace and calm, I realized that was something I need to get going immediately. We can deal with the money part later on, but I need peace more than anything else. And I kind of watch how I did that over the years. And I realized that during the time when I have the most problems is when I wasn't respecting myself. That's when I have tremendous amount of problems, when I wasn't respecting myself. It happens at my job, happens in my relationships, not respecting myself, and I realize that I've been treated a certain way. So, um, mm-hmm, exactly, yep. So I realized that I'm gonna learn how to respect myself, so that way I can avoid getting myself into situations where I feel like I have to fight back in order for me to gain my respect. And I realized that that was not a good place, a good position to be in. These were situations that I could actually avoid it. So start respecting myself. I'm gonna start do things that I need to do in order to make myself, to make my life better, make my life easier. have my life run more smooth, more peaceful, more calm, right? So one of the things that I working on, not that I plan on working on it really because, because of whatever reasons, but I start to work on it, was my discipline. Because I need to be more disciplined than how I was. I just couldn't get anything done. I started everything up, and then it was a huge problem at the time for me. I'm like, I can get things started, but I can't get anything done. I like starting things, right? So I decided that I wanted to develop my discipline because I realized it is something that I have to develop. And so what I did was I picked something that I could actually do every single day. Or I picked two things I could do every single day, or three things. Uh, and I started to um, work on those things every single day. And I noticed over a period of time, my discipline muscle became a lot more stronger. So when I give myself a command and I said, I am going to do this, that is exactly what I do. I get up and I go do it. So self-respect is the fruit of discipline. That's a quote. Discipline yourself so you can start respecting yourself. When you start respecting yourself, you're gonna see that you'll bring more peace to your life because you will not allow somebody else to, you will not accept things that you do not want to accept from other people. And I realize that too as well. And this including your the way how you earn money. The money that you are getting, which is fine, but it's just money from your job. I respect it. Thanks, Christy. I respect earning money from my job, and that's fine because I don't hate my job at all. But I am not doing as well as I would like to do. Of course, I would like to offer more service and help more people and all of that stuff. That doesn't really bother me anymore because I'm on my path and my purpose now, so it doesn't bother me. All I have to do is just be patient and wait. That will happen for me in the near future. So I don't need to I don't need to worry about it anymore. Back then, when I didn't know what a purpose is, I get up and I was just going around in circles. And I noticed every couple of years I would find myself right back in the same situation again. Ever since I started out on this journey here, I noticed a few times I might go back, but for the most part, I always keep on moving forward. I am no longer going around in circles. My attitude has changed, my behavior has changed, my emotions has changed, my life has changed. I become more peaceful, more calm, more quiet. I just want to be away from what we call noise, you know. And some things that I learned on my journey, my painful journey. Do not talk bad about other people. It's gonna hurt you. It's gonna harm you in a lot of ways. Don't do it. Do not talk bad about them, and do not talk crap to them. Surround yourself with people who you can respect and people who respect you. Your life will be easier that way. If you get yourself in company of disrespectful people, right? If you get yourself in the circles of disrespectful people, you're gonna end up disrespecting them You don't want to do that. You want to avoid that scenario, that situation at all cost. What you want is people who are respectful to you and you are respectful to them. They've done things that you appreciate and you done things that they appreciate as well. Okay? Make life easier for you that way. So, those are some things that I learned while I was out there trying to figure out what the hell is going on with me. So, creating peace and calm in your life. Some things that I just mention. One, you need to find things that you like to do. This might lead you to some kind of purpose, right? So start doing some things that you love to do. I would say get into fitness, running and working out. And also I would say get into personal development, because you're gonna need to learn about these habits, because habits is what you're gonna need to help you to achieve the things you want to achieve. Very important. Your habits, your rituals, your routines, what time you wake up. Some people are so rigid on their rituals and their routines is crazy. You know, they go to bed at a certain time, they eat a certain time, they wake up a certain time, and some people are just rigid in that way. Nothing is wrong with that, but that's a whole different standard to live up to. I don't know if I want to be that rigid. I thought about it, but I don't know if I want to be that rigid. At one point, I believe I was going down that road, and I don't know. I just didn't. I decided not to continue on. I could have, because I have this. I have the discipline to, and the commitment and the consistency to continue on doing that, but I just did not want to at all. So bring some peace and calm to your life. Fitness is a great way, a great place to start, and also reading and listen to spiritual materials. It makes me more compassionate, and I'm pretty sure it will do the same thing for you too. When I say spirituality is different for everybody. My spirituality is peace, love, happiness, harmony, joy, fun, and laughter. That is my spirituality. I don't buy into some beam into the sky coming down, some blonde hair, blue eye guy coming down to save me. I just don't buy into that. I don't subscribe to that, to that belief system. And it won't work. It will not work for me. It will piss me off, as a matter of fact, more than working for me. So I stay away from that stuff as much as I possibly can. There are some things that they say which makes sense, and then I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I can, but for the most part, no. I am just not a good friend. I am not friendly towards religion, right? Just not friendly. So I wanted to, so I look around for people who would, who I can relate to, and I listen to them, like Dr. Wayne Dyer, Dr. Joseph Murphy. These are two great spiritual teachers, and I listen to these guys all the time. Yeah. So like I said, find some type of purpose. Don't talk crap about people. Don't talk crap to them. Avoid disrespectful people. People who is gonna do things which eventually is gonna hurt you. Avoid those situations. Like, don't put yourself in a situation. And here is something that I took me a long time to learn. We do not want to be at the mercy of other people. Like relationships, you know, intimate relationships. I become to having problems with it these days because now I am at the mercy of this person, that this person will never hurt me. I do not like that at all. That's something that tend to bother me a lot these days. And because as whoever you know, your partner can get up and go find somebody else tomorrow morning, and you are left to deal with that, all of that pain, and it's just not fun. It's not funny, right? So situations like those, you know, things like those, not just your partner but also your job, they can fire you tomorrow morning, replace you, and you do not have another income coming in. You see what I mean? Things like those I'm talking about. So these are some of the problems that I have with relying on somebody else with my fingers crossed, hoping that this person will never hurt me. I just don't like it at all. It feels dangerous for me to put myself in situations like those. I want to be, I said the only person I can rely on is myself. It's like I am the only person who's not gonna hurt me. Sucks to think that way, sucks to be that way, but it has to be that way, at least for right now. So yeah, those are some things that keep me peaceful, make my life peaceful, so I don't have to stress and worry too much about the pain and that comes with relying on somebody else. I don't like that at all. So you might want to take a look at that too. Be self-reliant. Rely on yourself only. You are the only person you can trust and rely on. You can't rely on anybody else. You can't trust anybody else. I mean, sure, we can trust other people, sure, to a degree, but I'm just saying, rely on yourself. You will be more peaceful. That's all I'm saying. Well, I'm going to leave it there though, folks. I will catch you soon in a new video. Ryan here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Stay peaceful, stay calm, stay respectful, and stay self-reliant. And also, get in shape, stay in shape. Get healthy, get fit, stay fit. Get attractive, stay attractive. Get on the grind and stay on the grind. Get disciplined, stay disciplined. I will catch you soon in a new video. Bye for now.